Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, bringing you the second part to Chapter 8 in my Crysis 2 Super Soldier difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the final section of Dark Heart. And straight away you'll notice we've got a sniper rifle, so start using it, cause this is a 1-bullet kill on the heads of the Ceph if you can get them. If you miss, it's generally 2 bullets, so just have fun. And the idle sway's a bit of a ball ache, but you get used to it. And on your objective right now, you can see directly in front of me to 92 meters is where I've got to go, and then to my right is 73 meters, which is the other objective. But ignore the one that is 73 because you can't do that until you do the one that is the furthest. And there is a pattern emerging here, because as you can see there is a brute, that's the big bastard, and he will guard that thing you've got to shove your hand in that I did before, because we've got to do it on here as well, and then we've got to do it for a third time on that other objective, so that's what that is. And right now is a choice. You can handle this however you want. You can stealth directly up to it and do it like we did the last one, or you can start killing the Ceph and trying to get your upgrade points. And the reason why I'm killing this big brute from a distance is because he poses absolutely no threat to me if I'm firing missiles at him. I mean, you can shoot him with your normal gun if you want, but I shoot him twice with the rockets and I finish him with the sniper, I think. Or I might even finish him with a light machine gun. No, oh no, I'm firing another rocket. And the reason I do this is because these rockets are pretty powerful, and you get a lot of them because whenever you need them, they're generally stockpiled around the area. And it's pretty funny actually, because he pulls them out of thin air and drops them on the ground, so once you've fired 4 or 5 of them, there's like 4 rocket launchers at your feet. It's like, where the hell was he storing these goddamn guns? I could do with those kind of pockets on Dead Space. Or Resident Evil. Can you imagine if you had that kind of inventory on Resident Evil? It'd be a completely different game. Speaking of Resident Evil, there's been the most recent news that Resident Evil 4, along with Resident Evil Code Veronica, are getting high-definition remakes. And that is really good news. And even if you've never played Resident Evil 4, you should still be excited, because that is, in my opinion, one of the most groundbreaking leaps in that franchise ever. The way they redefined what Resident Evil was from, say, Resident Evil 3 to Resident Evil 4 is just unbelievable. I mean, the game is maybe 7-year-old, it might be 6-year-old, I'm not too sure, and it still looks good. And that was on the GameCube when I first played it. And the fact that they're doing a high-definition remake is just gravy. My only apprehension towards it is there is good high-definition remakes and there is bad high-definition remakes, because if they're just, lazily up-resing all the textures, then it could look really shit, but if they're going to put some actual time into it, it could be something fantastic. But I'm just hoping that it's going to be quality overall, because you can't ruin a great game, but you can really devalue the quality of what the great game was. But yeah, I just hope all the facets of Resident Evil 4 get carried over as well, because it was the first game that introduced the Mercenaries mode, and it was the best iteration of Mercenaries mode, because even the co-op one on Resident Evil 5 was kind of shitty compared to the one on 4, because 4 was... I don't know, it just felt so polished and so balanced, and like all the characters felt kind of different. I mean, you had a guy that had a bow, a guy called Krauser that was like fucking Rambo. Then there was a guy called Hunk, and he was an absolute fucking beast. Not only did he look cool because he was all dressed in like SWAT gear, he was all black and he had like a gas mask on, but he also had like a submachine gun, and it was silenced, and oh, it was just such a cool character to play as. And they really lost what made the game good, in my opinion. But I think that was more to do with the fact that how drastically they changed the mechanics from 4 to 5. So I don't really think it was the Resident Evil 5's fault for the mercenary modes being inferior, but it's, oh goodness me, I mean, if you've never played it as well, you're in for a treat, because even though the game is pretty old, it's an absolute pleasure to play. And what I would really tell people to do is play Resident Evil 5 before you put it on, because Resident Evil 4 is so much faster, it's so much more responsive, it feels like a better game because it is a better game. And that can't be denied. As for Code Veronica, I did play them on the PS2, but in all honesty I didn't have too much love for them because they were a lot more confusing than some of the other Resident Evils. There was a lot of characters, there was a lot of timeline stuff where you went there as Claire, you went there as Chris, you went there as Claire, and it was back and forth, and It were all over the fucking shop, and it was a really long one as well. And then you mixed in the crazy characters, which was like the Alistair and the Alexia, was it, something? The crazy people with the glowing eyes, and yeah, and then Wesker turned up, and it's like, how the hell is Wesker here, and why is his eyes glowing, and how come he's running up a wall like a fucking hamster? It's like, I didn't understand what was going on with that, so truth be told, I'm not too bothered when it comes to Code Veronica, but Resi 4 is definitely good news.
Alcatraz, listen to me very
So once you've dragged yourself up that little incline, it's obvious that the Crysis team have been playing a little bit of Bulletstorm, because for some reason they decide to throw in the commands there, and we haven't seen it for the last 8 levels. And you only see it one other time in the game. It's like, if you're going to put quick time events in, put them in. If you're not going to put them in, leave them out. And I'm kind of opting towards leaving them out, because the only games that deserve quick time events these days are the ones that involve smashing people's faces into the floor with your sandals. But once you're out on the street, you run towards this helicopter, and don't worry about getting there in time, because you physically can't do it. Your energy doesn't let you, and even when you get close enough, the game slows you down so that you can't make it, just so that the flood knocks you out. Which is a bit of a bummer, but you know, that's what the game makers intended, so we get to swim with the traffic cones and the lampposts and shit. But we're at the end of another video once again, guys, so thanks for watching, and you take care now.